Hi everybody, Creative Katie Karen Burchill here, and welcome to another art journal tutorial. This is a great one for beginners, and it's part of my color scheme challenge. These colors, ultramarine blue and green yellow. We are keeping it simple. So I have gessoed the page and I am applying the paint with a makeup sponge. The gesso underneath makes the paint go on smoother. Depending on the paper you have, it may be necessary or not. It keeps it wet longer and helps you to blend the colors. Here I know that the green, yellow, and the blue are going to mix nicely together. They're going to make kind of a mid-tone color, greeny color, and I'm good with that. So I have no worries about mixing the colors or blending them and getting mud with that. I'm just kind of blocking colors, adding more color as time goes. If I want to go over an area, I can let it dry so it's not too blendy. Now I'm taking this stencil, and I believe this one is called Fantasy Tile by the Crafter's Workshop, and I'm removing the paint through the stencil, and it's not really giving me the effect that I want. It rarely does. I'm determined to make that technique work. So I left that and I'm going over it. Now I'm just stenciling with that same stencil. This is the 6-inch one. I am going to be using the 12-inch of the same stencil. I want a smaller scale pattern underneath and a larger scale on top for more of a focal image. So depending on whether it's on top of the green yellow or whether it's on the blue, it looks different. Now this stencil is called Striped Mandala, and I'm using white. And that's just it's softening it. You're not getting a whole lot of pattern on this, but at this stage of the game, I'm creating a background. I don't necessarily want you to identify the stencil. I want to create pattern and interest in a background. This one I'm not using modeling paste until the very end. I do use some, but on create the background, I am just keeping it simple. And when you're starting out, it can be simple. So here we've used 2 colors with the addition of white and 2 stencils. You don't need to do every color. So I've stenciled with the larger version of the fantasy tile, and I started on the top, and when I peeked, I noticed that I liked how it ended. My thought at the beginning was to stencil the whole of it. So then I flip it over to get exactly the same amount on the other side with the area in the middle open. And I'm thinking that would be a great place to put a focal image. Now, I just put a sentiment in the middle and a very tiny motif, but you could put a butterfly in the middle or a heart or anything else that you want. You could also use 2 totally other colors and similar type stencils. You can recreate this page in a gazillion different formats. I've recently done a butterfly, so that's why I've stayed away from putting a butterfly in the middle, but that would look lovely. So I did stencil a little bit of that motif in the middle from the same stencil. And now I'm just shading around the outside edges. I'm using the floating acrylic technique. You can use a charcoal pencil here. You can use a Stabilo All pencil, Neocolor 2, Gelato in black, anything that's going to edge this and frame your page. And as usual, I put a little bit and then I build up. So I just cut out a sentiment, and this says, I told my husband I can fit all my art supplies into one box. He said, "Stop calling our house a box." I found this sentiment. It was on my table, and so I typed it up in a bigger font that was a little bolder, a little darker, that matched the black of the stenciling that I had done here. And I'm just gluing that in. But like I said, you don't have to just put a sentiment here. It could be an image that you like that goes with whatever colors you have chosen. If you've chosen these colors, I hope you will, continue to join my color scheme challenge. I put out 1 or 2 color scheme challenges in a month. And you can join my Facebook group and post what you create there and see all the different pages and canvases that people create. I'm using my Jelly Roll pen, and I am outlining this black stenciled area. Now the Jelly Roll, this pen, this one's 8. I have one that's also 10. They are permanent when dry after about a day. And I'm just edging that, giving it black. I'm not being too careful or precise, but I think it adds just another level of it. If you have a fine line bottle, you can use those as well. And I'll put links to the Jelly Roll pen that I use the most, as well as the fine line bottles in the description box below. I'll also list the name of the stencils. These both are brand new for winter 2020. So they aren't available yet on Amazon, but if you go through the link, the TCW Shopify link below, and use my code, you can get 5% off your entire purchase. And no, I don't show you every step of me tracing these out, but this stencil is perfect for you doing that line work. I'm using the Sakura Glaze pen. It's dimensional and it's glossy, also permanent when dry. But if I was to get it in the wrong place right now, I could take a baby wipe and get it off now. In a day, it's permanent and it doesn't reactivate if you were to varnish this. And before someone asks, I do not varnish my art journal pages, but if I was doing something on a canvas and using that pen, making sure that it's permanent is important to me. So that motif in the middle, I had just stenciled with black paint and it wasn't precise enough. So I decided that I'm going to add a textural element here, get it a little more precise. So I painted it out blue and I'm putting the stencil back on. I'm masking off the area around it, and I'm going to use TCW black modeling paste, which is wonderful stuff. If you struggle with modeling paste, this is the modeling paste to use. It has nearly fail-safe. The texture and everything about it just works so well. So thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Share this with your creative friends. Come join the Color Scheme Challenge. Check out other videos on my YouTube channel. Thanks again. Bye.